We haven't talked about releasing that as alpha. Should we release that as alpha? What we saw?
I think you already did.
No, I didn't.
He
Oh,
didn't give it
Yeah,
yet, but
I
Rob,
released
you're
one.
usually the one that gives us the
I
leaks.
really.
Will it be just strictly for yourselves for now? Josh is smiling here. That's a good sign.
We've had discussions. We're building it with lots of potential in mind. We're not making an official announcement at this time.
Hey guys, what's going on? Paul here. Welcome back to another Cardano and bit of cross-chain video. Today, I'm sitting down with Rob and Josh from Cornucopias. They've been on the channel a few times now at this point, probably nearly 2 years ago since we talked first. There's a lot been going on with them over the last few months. So looking forward to jumping into that and finding out exactly what's been going on and what is to come yet. And hopefully maybe try and pull some leaks out of the two guys here. So guys, very welcome. Thanks for coming on.
Thanks for having us, man. It's been a while since we've been on your show. Good to see you've still remained active, which is awesome. I love it.
Yep.
Not everybody makes it through the bear cycle, but you definitely did. So thanks.
We did our first ever interview with you, Paul.
Yeah, I think the first time to kind of announce Cornucopias was here, so it's good to have that bit of history there.
Yeah, it is.
So for anyone, we're not going to go too deep into. I'm going to presume basically everyone watching this knows what you guys are, but you have the what is it off to a T now. So does someone want to give us that, and then we're going to get into the different topics. I have like the node sale, going cross chain to base, Apex, looking at land claim, when we might get that or how that's going to work. And we'll see what other questions come up along the way. There will be timestamps below for anyone looking for certain aspects. But what is Cornucopias to kick us off?
Sure. Cornucopias is an MMO life simulator game where you basically the story is such that humanity has ascended into the clouds, into these giant dome-like structures, and you can travel from dome to dome to have different curated gaming experiences. And there's a cool lore around all of that, but that's the basics of the lore. And then you fly around from dome to dome in your own NFT based vehicles. You can go to one dome and participate in racing, which is what we have live right now, and that's in pre-alpha. And then we have coming soon the ability to get into Solace, which is mountainous landscapes with beautiful trees, aspen trees, rivers, and looks a lot like Colorado, Utah, Wyoming type of land structures. And that's actually coming up soon. I know you mentioned talking about land, so I'll save a little bit of that there. But it's you can participate in crafting, commerce, mining, in the in-game economy, fishing, all sorts of fun stuff within these domes. So a lot is yet to come, but we are in pre-alpha, and it's an incredible AAA quality. We're building on Unreal Engine 5, and that's a little bit of where we're at.
Nice. Yeah, I think that gives people a good base. Like, put links to some of our older interviews. Some of the details might have changed, so I would say look for some of the latest stuff, and I'll probably try and cover, maybe do a stream fairly soon going through the game. I know me and you, Rob, done one. That's a good few months ago now at this point, walking through, letting people see what it is. So I'm looking forward to being able to do that in Solace when that's released, being able to walk through and show people what it's all about. But the game started out on Cardano. You have since expanded to base. I seen an announcement for Apex a few days ago. Well, actually, the token and everything started on Binance first, and you guys were predominantly a Cardano-based game. You're looking cross-chain. Do you want to talk a bit about that? Sometimes it gets negative views when it looks like you're leaving, or to me, I think there's lots of good aspects to it. You're going out there, you're showing people what you're building. They're looking at the game, they start to like the game, and then there's a good chance they can come in if there's certain parts of it they want to access. They come in and look at Cardano then to get access. But what's your overall plans with expanding out to these other chains?
It's a great question, and it's true. The negativity, you get it everywhere, right? Even, you could do everything perfect and you're still going to get the naysayers and the trolls or whatever, and the shysters that have their opinions on what you're doing, and misinformation even at times. But The reality is we've always been cross-chain. We launched on Binance. Cardano is our home chain, but we've always had a cross-chain mindset. And the reason for that is that, you have a lot of tribalism in crypto. And so people we just only use this chain, or we only use this chain, or this is the only chain that I'm familiar with. Or, there's then also the people that only use Coinbase and they only use centralized exchanges. All taking note of all of that, we have to make sure that it's as accessible as possible for all of Web3 first. That's always been our strategy. We want to captivate people with our game. We are an entertainment company, and therefore it needs to be as easy as possible for people to get in and play. So it shouldn't be an issue what chain it is or how do we do it. It should just be, hey, this is really easy. Connect my wallet here and go, right? And then furthermore, mainstream gamers, we have to be accessible to mainstream gamers because that's the end goal, right? We want all people to be able to play our game. So when it comes to mainstream gamers, their expectations are a lot higher. So our strategy is, because Web3 gaming is new, so the expectations and the bar is lower, right? So first, we want to captivate all of Web3. Then we want to move to mainstream when we feel the time is right, which is actually nearing. I think early 2025, we should be ready with something that mainstreamers would be proud to play. And that means we also need to make it as seamless as possible for a mainstream gamer to get in and play the game as well. So this has always been a part of our strategy.
Yeah, I think it's important to make it as easy as possible for people to get access to the game and even play the game without knowing that it is a blockchain based game initially, and then start to learn, because gaming can be a great onboarding experience. But I think in the past, people have tried to build games that just satisfied Web3, but them users are already in. And in the big picture, it's a small target audience. You need to be looking at the bigger audience, but you need to be able to build something that is of the quality that they're used to playing out there. So with the likes of
Total addressable market. Sorry to interrupt.
sorry,
Uh, that's the word that we don't often toss around, but it's a marketing word. And what is your total addressable market? Well, we're looking at the um, projected to be $500 billion total addressable market, CAGR, of gaming in 2025, I believe is what it's projected to be at. That's a large market. Now, how do we carve out our small niche in the simple addressable market in there? Well, that's going to be the direction that we choose with our game, and what types of gamers does that appeal to. Sorry, go ahead. I just wanted to throw that out there real quick.
No, and I might come back to that in a few minutes, but just on the cross chain. So far we've seen the land NFTs, the vehicles have been on Cardano. You have a node sale that's live right now on both Cardano and Base. Going forward, how will that work? And maybe talk actually first, maybe a little bit about the nodes, the node sale that's ongoing, and then a bit about how you're going to work that going forward. Will you have the same NFT sales on all chains that you support, or what way that's going to be?
Great question. Rob, do you want me to lead off with the node?
Yeah, I mean the nodes themselves, what they do is they help us. They provide critical infrastructure for us. As our game grows, it will take longer and longer to download, and instead of us paying for Amazon to do that, what we've done is we've developed these node systems over the last year where it will be completely decentralized. Our community will host these nodes, and they will all house a version of the game. So when a player wants to download the game, what it will do is it will take little bit of chunks from all the different nodes and download the game quicker and faster. There'll be no point of failure, and it's more and more efficient. And in return for that, we will pay rewards, Kopi token rewards, to our node operators. So we think we've come up with a very efficient solution that's currently working. We are testing it on Windows and on Linux, and that sale ends on the 1st of July. So there's a really limited opportunity left now, 20 days, I think, when we will then pause the sale. We may reopen it again in the future, but we've got set aside 26 million Kopi for this first year, and that will be divided daily by all the active node holders. So there's 20,000 for sale. I think currently we've sold about 7,800. So all those node operators will get more rewards than were planned, because I don't think we're going to fully sell out.
It's actually a good thing for us. I hold a node as well. It's a good thing for us if it doesn't sell out, in that there's more rewards up for grabs for the likes of us. I did see there's a calculator actually out in the last week or so, so I'll put links to that below for anyone who wants to see what potentially could be there, and also a link to the sale page if anyone's interested in grabbing one before that. But just Josh, I don't know if you were going to expand on that.
Yeah, the only thing that I was going to add was, well, number one, to your point there, I think the nodes are. Sorry, I lost my train of thought. Basically, with the node sale, what we really need to happen is it's preparing us to go from pre-alpha to alpha, and the stage of the game that we're in right now is transitioning from pre-alpha to alpha. So we have a game that's live, but it's closed off. We haven't intentionally massively increased the numbers of people playing, for good reason. When we have more content and we're ready to market to a larger audience, we will. And that node infrastructure becomes paramount and important at that point, because you want the users, and Rob alluded to this a little bit, but like when we get 20,000 new users coming in a week or whatever it may be, you want them to have a seamless onboarding experience. You don't want to have a 10-25% attrition rate because the download was so big that something happened, it timed out, or whatever occurred, a glitch, internet glitch. We all have them. So you want that process to be as seamless and easy as possible with a low attrition rate. And so this prepares us for that. And it's amazing that we're at the stage that we're at. The one other thing that I would say in regards to that is, yes, it's an early opportunity now. This was to your comment, but the sale closes on July 1st. We will reopen that at a later date. So everybody that participates now gets the maximum reward structure allotted for that short period of time, and then we'll reopen the sale and to sell out more of the remaining nodes that occur. But we're not certain of when that date is just yet. But yeah, so obviously best to get in now and participate in this early test phase, because I think, Rob, did you talk about phase one at all?
No, not yet. No.
Yeah, so phase one is where the rewards allocated will be equally distributed no matter what, whether your node is running or not. It's as long as it's activated, right? Am I stating that correctly, Rob?
Yeah, nobody will be running a node. Phase one is just registration.
Right. Yeah. So phase one is registration. You're going to need to have your active player account, your NFT node in that account. And if that's the case, you qualify for rewards, and they will be distributed. And that starts on July 1st. So that's why it makes sense to start getting in now and participate, because those are just going to be disseminated according to those who have registered nodes. And then phase two will integrate more and more. So there will be phases to this.
And from a technical standpoint, some people might hear running a node and think a complicated process. There's two options there. People can run it themselves, or you do have the option to, I don't know if the term is delegate the node, or what way does that work?
Yeah, so we've built it for both ends of technical capability. So if you know how to maybe run command lines, install software, open ports on your firewall, then you're more than capable of being able to run a node on your own PC or your own device. But also from another point, from a non-technical, we're going to offer a small annual subscription, and for that you will then be able to delegate your node to a public pool. So then it's completely hands off. That public pool will run that your node, because the NFT is actually a representative of a license. They will run that node for you, and then you will receive your full rewards. To become a public pool operator, you need to have 8 NFTs, and if you have 8 NFTs, then you can and you have the the copy that goes with it, because you'll need to have 15,000 copy for 8 nodes, then you'll be able to name your pool, publish it publicly, and then other people will be able to delegate it. And currently at the moment, for every node that you have, you're able to have 4 delegates. So if you have 10 nodes, for example, you're able to have 40 delegates. And the reward structure for the delegates is a completely separate pot from the 26 million that's allocated for all the rewards. So those that are delegating that subscription pot, that is used to pay the public pool operators 1 copy per day per delegate. And so you can work out all of these calculations using that calculator that we released the other day.
Okay, I'll have to revisit that myself and look at if I need to up the number of nodes that I have to participate in that. And when it does come out, I'll probably create some tutorials around it anyway for people who might want to run it themselves, and just show people how to do it through the command line, or how they can get access to servers to do that. But coming back to the cross-chain approach then, and so this sale happens with the NFTs on Base and on Cardano. In the future, will we see this with any future sales, or with the current land or vehicles that are on Cardano? Will there be bridges to bring them to other chains, or what's the approach there?
So yeah, you won't need to bridge any NFTs at all. We've built our infrastructure to be cross-chain compatible. We have APIs that talk to all the different blockchains. And what you do in your player account, you connect one or many of your wallets. So whether it's a Coinbase wallet, whether it's a Cardano, whether it's an Eternal wallet, or a Nami, or a Giro, you can connect as many of these Web3 wallets as you have across all the different chains, and the player account will just read them and then just present them to you as if you just had one main account. So there's no need to bridge anything. The same with the nodes. If you've got nodes on Cardano and on Base, it doesn't matter. They will all be seen in one pot. And then moving forward, if we will have the F9R sale, which is a racing vehicle that's coming on Base. So those will be able to race against other S-class vehicles that we will have on Cardano and maybe other chains in the future. So our strategy will be to have different NFTs on the different chains, but it doesn't matter which chain it's on, because your player account will just see them all as one.
Okay, and then for somebody who wants to get access to land, then they would need to have a Cardano wallet for now anyway. In the future might be different, but
Yes,
for the
now.
first 3 zones.
In the future, that we'll likely have land on other chains as well. But yes, for now, the Cardano, go to JPEG Store or go to tokenriot.io, and those are both places where you can purchase Cornucopias land.
okay, I suppose for Cardano and anyone worried about you guys leaving, then that is
No.
the sign that you're not.
We're not leaving.
No.
Like, this is funny. This is what's funny. These
No,
shysters, they get in there on Twitter and they act like it's I don't know it's funny that people say that, because it's like, no, this isn't a zero-sum game. To participate in another chain, we do not need to leave where we started, where we have foundation, where we have tons of tech built up already. Like, that would be foolish.
I just think it's because we're early. I mean, I think the thing is with crypto and with technology, if you zoom out, you'll get a bigger picture. And you could have seen this coming. Our Copy token is ERC20. It's a BNB as well. It's on Cardano and it's on Base. So our token is already cross-chain. It's on 4. Our NFTs are on Cardano and on Base, because our file nodes are on Base. So if you zoom out, we're on PC. In the future, we'll be on different consoles. What we want to do we want to be everywhere, because that's where players are. And we want the most seamless interface. So the blockchain is completely invisible. So if you play something like Fortnite, you can play that on PC, on console, you can play it on PlayStation. All those players can play together in the same environment. And that's what we want for our game. You don't need to know whether you're on Web 2 or Web 3. You just come and play the game. And also in the future, we'll be onboarding. So for land, you'll be able to share your land NFT with other players. So other people in your family, they'll be able to temporarily use your NFT. It's still non-custodial, it'll remain there, and they will be able to play on yours, whether they know Web3 or not. And we'll do the same for other NFTs in the future. So we want to be compatible, and we do understand that not everybody knows about Web3, but we will slowly educate them as time goes on.
Yeah, I think a lot of it comes down to the UX, like the target
Mhm.
audience you're aiming at when they come into crypto first, they really don't care what chain they're using. Some people will never care, some will experiment and figure out which chain they have a preference for later on. But when they come in, it's all about that UX, making it as simple as possible. And what Base are doing right now, I think, is really going after that with the new release of smart wallets and what they're trying to do there. Hopefully, someday we'll see Cardano in that. I think for you guys, that would definitely simplify things as well. If someone can come in, and if they want the land that's on Cardano, they can do it all through one wallet and interact with the different marketplaces there. But talking on land, then this is something I'm looking forward to myself. What is the plan there, or when might we be able to claim our land and start building on it?
Most likely early Q3 is what we're targeting.
Okay.
And so that's not too far away, really. But yeah, to answer a little more with a little more concrete substance, Rob and I were in a interview with Crypto Crow last week, I think, when the message came in that our land, the first three zones of solace were pretty much 99% complete, meaning all of the art assets, the trees, the rivers, the rocks, the geological structures, all of that is complete. And we're moving on to the land plot serialization phase where we program in and have the land plots. And then also involved in that is having a map selector, which Rob alluded to. So I think all of that is where we're at now, which is amazing. It's huge because it's to build out three 8 kilometer in diameter zones is a feat in itself when it's not procedurally generated. Anyone can go out there and build a procedurally generated, well, not anyone, but game developers can easily build a procedurally generated world that expands infinitely and creates a massive amount of space. But then that becomes predictable. It's boring. It's AI kind of generated or whatever. Whereas this is curated land, completely unique experience with each new square foot that you walk through, right? And all three solaces will look very similar, but that's a massive undertaking. We have 34 different checkboxes that we have to work through with our testing and quality assurance group and all of that for each individual dome that we're doing. And we've built up all the workflows and the processes around that. So it's massive and it prepares us to more quickly put together Esperanza and Fortune, which each of those will have three domes as well. And those are totally different look and feel lands, which is going to give us even more variety. So I think to emphasize that about the land is what's most important to us right now, that this is larger than 99% of the games out there in terms of what they offer. Like in tradition, I'm talking about Web3 or mainstream studios, AAA studios that have offered large amounts of land. This is larger than 99% of all of them in terms of explorable, curated square footage. So that's a powerful thing that we've been in development on that's coming pretty soon. And we just don't want that to not get the credit that it deserves, because when you start adding wildlife and gameplay mechanics and crafting and all the things that you can do in that, it becomes very, very powerful. And that's a lot of the focus of the remainder of this year.
Okay, it's good to hear that it's actually that close. And when the land claim happens, how will that happen? Is it fastest finger gets certain types of land or certain areas or anything like that, or how is that going to work?
Yeah, so not next build, the build after that. This is when you'll get the three large worlds that you'll be able to run around and have a look where the land plots are. But at the same time, shortly afterwards, we'll be releasing a website version of those. So those that can't get into the game for some reason, you'll be able to look on any web browser. And the actual land grab will happen on that web browser. So 8,000 land plots are currently being placed within all the 3 different solaces. You'll be able to navigate either in-game or the website. And then with the website, when we come to the land event, there'll be a period where the mythics will get to choose which land plot they want using that web browser, then the legendaries, then the rare, then the uncommons, and then the commons. But that won't all happen. It won't be the fastest finger first. We'll announce how that happens. So obviously we've sold NFTs throughout the world. So there'll be the mythics will get to choose. There'll be some kind of method in there over a couple of days or a week where we would decide which mythics get where in case multiple choose the same plots, and then we'll have the legendaries and then the rares. So we'll explain how that's going to work closer to the time, but it's very, very close. I mean, Q3 starts July. Is that right? Yeah. So it will happen sometime in July and August.
Okay, great. And in terms of what can be built on it, I'm at the stage where I own a few custom domes that I bought back when the initial sale happened. I have a few land plots, but I'd have more on the custom dome side. So I'm trying to decide, do I need to get more land, or am I okay with the custom domes, or what can we actually build on the normal land plots?
The custom domes are quite a bit further off, and Rob and I can't wait to get to those. That's something that we're all very excited about. But in terms of the theme zone lands, yeah, I mean, if you want to get more of that, please do. And we're definitely thankful for your support in that. But for theme zone lands, you will not be able to do a ton right away. Eventually, when we first open it, it's just going to be explore and look around and use the land plot tool to find where it is that you might want to place your plots. But shortly after that, as soon as it depends on the dev time on crafting and different things like that we're going to release on the land, we'll be adding creatures and crafting and things of that nature. So we've already had a bear that's built, and there's more creatures in the works right now. One was just recently completed, but we haven't talked about releasing that as alpha. Should we release that as alpha? What we saw?
I think you already did.
No, I didn't.
He didn't give it yet, but
I
Rob,
released
you're usually the one that gives us the leaks.
I released the bear. We've talked about the bear before.
I know you can mention the other creatures.
Yeah. So there's a deer that's been done, and then fish has been released. That you've definitely seen some of those in the Kopi Cafe video with the land, the recent land and new water technology footage. But there's a really solid deer that's been created, which once the basic structure is there, then we can have all sorts of different kinds of deer quite easily. And then it's just the animations and things like that, and then programming how they walk around and interact. But there's good stuff happening with our new hire that we have on the team working on characters and creatures. So
yeah, I mean, all the theme zones, they sold out within minutes 2 years ago. So the only way you can get theme zone land is on the secondary. But the gameplay with those are, on your land, you'll be able to build houses. You'll be able to build hotels on there. You'll be able to build crafting stations. They'll be farming on there, and then you'll be part of a district. So we'll have district versus district competitions. You'll be going into the larger world, because the land plots themselves take up about 1% of these 8 kilometers by 8 kilometers. The rest is full of lakes, where you can go and do fishing, and then bring that fishing back to your area and do trading in there. There'll be mines to explore. There'll be, like I say, lots and lots of crafting. There'll be tree chopping. There'll be rock ore. There'll be so lots and lots of MMO gameplay, where with the crypto element, the landowners will be earning rewards for their land leveling up. The players will be earning rewards for doing various activities and learning XP. And then you'll be able to jump from experience to experience. So whether that's tree chopping or whether that is fishing, or even fly all the way back to Toledo Valley, which is currently live in pre-alpha, and then go racing in the esports league. So it all ties together. It's all one giant dare I say metaverse, or one giant experience, where all the NFTs play different parts within that ecosystem.
Okay. And for building, then, do I have to collect resources to be able to build, or is there costs for building packs, or how does that process work?
There'll be a bit of both. I mean, you can take the slow route if you want, and I say slow, but I mean the grind is worth it. You'll be able to explore, chop down different trees. You'll be able to gather them with the rocks, then going back and trade them and build them up. Or you can just go straight to the different trading posts and purchase some of the items. But I think the fun will be doing a mixture of both. As you build your land up, you'll want to maybe specialize it in a certain crafting area, because you don't want too many people, too many land plots that are specializing maybe in the same type of crafting. You might want to specialize it in a different type. Maybe you're more into woodwork or metalwork or tannery or some of the other different trades and things that will be available that we will explain more. We're actually working on a land explanation deck at the moment that will hopefully release within the next few weeks, which will give you more information on the land and how the rarities play a really important part moving forward, even after the land grab. So all that and the XP that will be released really soon. So there's some good alpha for you.
Okay.
Yes.
And I look forward to
I'm
seeing that one.
working on it. The planning is mostly done. It's just the little details and getting a polished up deck ready to present to the community. So there's not a whole lot left there for that land deck, which is exciting. That is the alpha for this episode in my mind. So I'm glad Rob covered it.
Okay, and yeah, I suppose that's following the model that traditional games would use, where you can pay to get things faster, or people can still play for free, which I really like that aspect, that anybody can come in and they can get involved and use the game for free. And with racing as well, I know there is vehicles. I have a few of them, but people can still race even if they don't own them. Is there stock ones that they can use?
Yeah.
Yes, so you have free vehicles. So our game will always be free. Whether you travel from world to world on your own NFTs, that's like having your own car, or whether you go on public transport, that's how everyone else will be able to do it. But the NFTs have dual purpose. One of them is for travel, obviously, and as you're moving goods from maybe one sector to another sector, that'll be very useful to have your own vehicles. And some vehicles have larger boot space. Some are actually built for racing. But then when you go into the Cornucopias Racing League, if you do own an NFT, so go practice in the free vehicles. If you then get really good and you fancy entering the competitions, those competitions, those rewards, those will be higher for those that have the actual NFTs. So it's a small barrier, but those NFTs, you'll be able to use all over the place.
Okay. Before we close it out, you were recently at Consensus and had a fairly good booth there. I know I had Josh and Freed. We had the live stream last night, and the other Josh was giving us kind of the feedback, and the impression seemed to be very good. And even when he was talking about that you're building on Cardano, the feedback seemed to be very good, or people being surprised, oh, there's things like this being built, or this quality being built on Cardano. But what was your overall feel of Consensus in terms of where we are right now, I suppose, in crypto in general, and the feedback you got for Cornucopias?
It was great. So it is true that most of the conferences we've done prior to this were mostly solely Cardano type conferences. This was the first one that took a broader Web3 approach. Consensus is really just a lot of layer one, a lot of different layer one ecosystems involved. And same with ETH Denver. We had a small presence there as well. But yeah, the feedback was phenomenal. People are amazed with what we're doing. They walk by, they're like, what is this? They don't know who we are. So it was very different than what we're used to, because normally, that we had built a strong community on Cardano in the beginning, and now we're just building on additional, with the base ecosystem and Ethereum, that we're building out exposure there, and that's just a different. It's a huge market to tackle, and so it just takes time. And that was the coolest thing about that event for me, was to watch people's reactions to what we're doing. What is this? They wanted to play. They played it. They had a blast. They were amazed. We had a little Kopi drop as well they could participate in, and so it was cool. I thought it was fun. We had great feedback.
Yeah, we were one of the very few games that had more than one screen. So our game is always multiplayer, and we had four that were connected together, and one large screen in the middle. And the biggest questions that I was asked is how is this blockchain? So the chain didn't come up whatsoever. Obviously, one Cardano and now expanded to base. So people couldn't understand how a game of this quality, because they've seen Web3 games before, and they're usually browser based, or they're 2D, or the voxels, low poly kind of games. So people have never really seen a game of this quality before. So that was that was quite surprising, and surprising for them when they realized how it is integrated with Web3. So for me, it was an eye opener, but at the same time, it was really exciting to see that people, were really interested in definitely playing our game.
Yeah, I'd say it's good to get that positive feedback or surprise in person. It really would help motivate the team to continue along the path that they're going down. So, any closing thoughts? Anything we have missed in this one that'd be good to put out there? Links that we talked about for the node sale or for different aspects of the game, I will put links to them down below. But any closing thoughts or any other leaks you want to drop in there?
I can't think of any other leaks at the moment. You got quite a bit, but I would just say, hey, if you haven't followed us, or if you haven't kept up with where we're at, now's a good time to check in. Join our Discord, follow us on Twitter. Go to the website, set up your testing account, create your player account, get an NFT, and participate. Go play the game if you can. That's great. And obviously the nodes link. That's a great way if you wanted to earn some rewards, and we're paying out Kopi rewards for helping us with our infrastructure, then go participate in that, because that's gonna I think that's doing great. We're doing very well with that, and the nodes architecture, again, commercially built. It is ready to go. We're very close to this July 1st launch of those, so a lot of fun.
Yeah, I mean we've got 53 full-time team members now working on this game, and the game built on Unreal Engine 5. It really is a next-gen AAA quality game. What we're building here is really special. So if you become a node operator, you're being part of something very special. And I think integrating gaming with Web3, that this is a brand new revolution in games. It's very disruptive in the space, and you're very early. Everybody who's never played a 4K game, a 60 FPS of this quality, come down and see us if you get the chance in Caesar's Palace in Vegas in August. Come and play the game for yourself. But if you have one of our NFTs, you can currently download the game as long as you've got a 3060 or above Windows PC with that graphics card. You can play the game today. It's been on pre-alpha now for the last 6 months, and I think it really is a special game in the making.
Yeah, Rare Evo is happening the middle of August. For anyone who is able to get to it, then it'll be a great experience to get in and see what the game is like. One final one just on the nodes, actually. So Deepin, very big narrative right now. This is basically Deepin in what you guys are doing. But will you be looking to expand outside of Cornucopias of your own game, your own files, or will it be just strictly for yourselves for now? Josh is smiling here. That's a good sign.
We've had discussions. We're building it with lots of potential in mind. We're not making an official announcement at this time.
Yeah, I mean, deep in decentralized physical infrastructure, that's what it stands for. Is a bit of a trend at the moment. There will definitely be new additional Cornucopias nodes in the future. So not just file nodes, there will be game nodes, and those will offer the opportunity for our community to host a different side of the game. But our infrastructure has definitely been built to scale. This is really exciting technology. Again, not just changing gaming, but changing gaming infrastructure. So yeah, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if you see more of us next year.
Okay, we'll keep an eye out, and we won't leave it just as long the next time before we catch up. Guys,
Agreed.
thanks for your time. As always, appreciate it. The game has come a long way since we first talked. I think when we first talked, there wasn't many more than just the two of you guys. There might have been one or two more in the background. Up to 53 full time now is a great achievement, and I look forward to seeing where it goes in the future. Everyone watching, please do share it out. Let people know what is being built here and the latest updates that we have coming up towards the land grab and things like that. You can expect lots more content here, and ask questions below or join the socials of Cornucopias, and we'll talk to you soon. Cheers, guys.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Great to see you, Paul.